president certainly is entitled to his choice as FBI director. And while I admire Jim Comey a lot, I think he's contributed a lot to the country. He's enormously gifted. He crossed a basic line back in July, a fundamental line in the department, which is that investigations are supervised and directed by the lawyers, the prosecutors at the department, not the agents.
William Barr, said to be the leading contender to be the next nominee for Attorney General, take over for Jeff Sessions. Obviously now acting is Mr. Whitaker, but William Barr was Attorney General before, under the 41st President of the United States. He said not only that comment you heard there about Comey, but has written numerous things, including about the Mueller prosecutors. Prosecutors who make political contributions are identifying fairly strongly with a political party. I would have liked to see Mueller have more balance in this group, obviously talking about the Democratic Party. Those two statements alone, very positive, one would think, from the president's point of view. But what about this choice? Well respected from Republicans and Democrats up on Capitol Hill. And we don't know if it's a fact, but it looks like it's heading that way. Let's bring in our panel. David Brody, Chief Political Analyst for the Christian Broadcasting Network, National Security Analyst Morgan Ortagus, and Josh Kraushaar, Political Editor for the National Journal. Josh, surprised by this name?
It's a little surprising, but I think it's apropos that the week that we're honoring and commemorating George H.W. Bush, we have his former Attorney General looking like he may be the next successor to Jeff Sessions. It's a reminder that President Trump may talk a tough game about the Mueller investigation, but his instincts and his administration's instincts is to go in an establishment direction, and Barr is a very establishment pick. He's someone who is not like Jeff Sessions. He's a corporate attorney, and he's someone who has defended the president on numerous occasions, but he doesn't seem to be a Trump loyalist. So,
you know, you say he's a corporate attorney. He's a partner at Kirkland Ellis, big law firm here in town, alongside the current White House counsel, Mr. Cipollone, who just started this past week. Morgan, it's interesting that all this dust up on Capitol Hill about Matt Whitaker, and now you're getting this other name that pretty well respected on the left and the right.
I think it's a smart move politically if this is who the president goes with. Even with a bigger majority in the Senate, what all of this comes down to is who can the president get confirmed. And so you're going to need to see someone that can go through without a big political fight. We're already going to have to name a replacement to Nikki Haley as well. So there's going to be several big confirmations that need to get through. I think the most important thing that the administration can do is to name someone and to move past Whitaker, because that's just been a lightning rod of criticism. And when the Democrats take over the House, I think you're going to see more investigations into him. So move on to someone well respected like this that can defend this administration.
David.
Yeah, I think we also might see the hypocrisy at work here with the Democrats. They just got done lauding this week President 41, George H.W. Bush, and all of a sudden here comes Bill Barr, a guy who worked in his administration. And oh, by the way, now how are you going to handle that come potential confirmation time? You just said all these nice things about a president that was calm and had civility. And if he made the right choice, well, why isn't President Trump making that same right choice?
Well, exactly right. All right, let's turn now to this dust up about U.S.-China trade and an arrest in Canada.
China demands them to immediately clarify the reason for the arrest, release the detainee, and safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of the detainee.
If someone has violated the law, you cannot say we're not going to charge them or hold them accountable in our justice system because of some geopolitical matter.
Not respecting this particular arrest, but Huawei is one company we've been concerned about. There are others as well. I think this is going to be a major subject of the negotiations that President Trump and President Xi Jinping agreed on in Buenos Aires.
That arrest, the chief executive of Huawei, this tech company, and it has caused a major issue for China. We're told that there could be a bail set tomorrow for Ms. Meng. Morgan, what about this?
Well, I think that this sends a very loud and clear message to business executives around the world that you cannot evade U.S. sanctions on Iran. Even though this arrest happened during the middle of this trade discussions, this was primarily based on evading Iran sanctions, on not complying with them. So I think any European companies that are looking at this arrest, that were thinking about doing business in Iran, are going to think twice.
Yeah, you look at the Dow today and the wild ride that it's been on as of late. This is just today, and you see see Tuesday's close there, made a comeback, Josh. But this dynamic about where U.S. trade is, what is happening after Buenos Aires. I talked to Peter Navarro at the White House the other day. It is a major issue for the markets.
It's a reminder that Trump picking a trade fight with China could be a big-time political loser because, the markets are not reacting very positively. And look, I think the Trump game plan was to play hardball and hope that China would make concessions. That's certainly what the administration hoped for in the aftermath of Buenos Aires. But China isn't playing ball, and if a lot of American voters feel an economic squeeze, it's going to land right on the president's desk.
Yeah, I guess their thinking, according to Navarro and others, is that just give it some time, calm down. China said what they said in this meeting, and they have to go through the process, but eventually we're going to get them to the table and start to level the playing field.
Well, that's right, and the clock is ticking. That 90-day clock that we know about, where those tariffs can go up from 10% to 25% a click. And I think that works for the administration at this point. There's something to dangle over the Chinese, if you will. This is definitely, as the Dow turns, I think this is a roller coaster December, I think, that we're about to see. And I also think we're seeing the art of the deal play out, not just in the boardroom behind the scenes, but it's playing out in the stock market. And I think the parallel between the two is interesting to watch.
Well, to that point, this is the Chinese Commerce Ministry spokesperson. Take a listen.
The teams of both sides are now having smooth communications and good cooperation with each other. We are full of confidence that an agreement can be reached within the next 90 days.
Well, maybe.
For the past 30 years, U.S. foreign policy in Republican and Democrat administrations is predicated on the fact that if we open up to China economically with American business, that China will open up politically. And what we've seen the past 2 years is that premise that we've all been working on for 30 years is not actually true. We have Xi for life. We have China closing in, becoming more insular. And American, European governments and businesses need to ask themselves, what does a Chinese-led world order look like? And do you want to be a part of that? And if not, no matter what you feel about this president, you need to back him up.
Quickly.
I was going to say, Trump pitched this as being the art of the deal master. I mean, he needs to get a deal. I don't think he can have conflict forever.
Yeah. All right, panel, stand by. Next up, we'll look at, it's hard to believe, 2020 presidential hopefuls on the Democratic side.